Welcome back, everyone, to the Catch a Glimpse podcast. It's crazy. We're here. It's
We're
episode
back.
35.
30, somewhere in the 30s, I believe.
35. Let's
It
go.
doesn't matter. You're back for another
You're
week of the
back.
greatest podcast.
Oh, yeah. Here we got Ryan Snapperdoodle Stork and me, Keaton Skeeter Wall.
No Frankie
No
again?
Frankie again.
No.
He's doing some business, I hear.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
you know how it goes these days. It's a busy
What kind of
time.
business?
I think he's fishing in the Atlantic.
No, man. No, man.
No?
Make it up.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, sorry.
man.
Secret
Yeah.
agent.
Oh,
He's out.
not secret anymore.
um,
He's out where? He's out where?
he is in Vancouver.
Vancouver, Canada, with Justin Bieber, and they're
Yeah.
trying to infiltrate the Prime Minister's hideout.
Yeah. Is well, yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, that's the one.
Hey, prayers
Yeah.
in the chat for our man Frankie. Hopefully his mission goes
Yeah,
successful.
yo, tell us we're wrong. Tell us we're wrong. Like, come on. You know how it
Yeah.
is. It is that. So, anyways, we're back. Catch the Lens podcast 35. That's crazy. We're getting really up there in numbers.
Yeah.
I think we're just gonna start this out. You know, you're here for the content. You're here for the news.
You're here for 45 plus minutes. Sit down, strap in, or
Listen.
walk around, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, whatever you're doing. Anyways,
Listen through your ear holes.
with that, you're here with us for 45 minutes. So we decided, me and Ryan and I,
Yeah.
to maybe give you guys some more info on us. Because we kind of realized that, like, the first podcast, we kind of introduced ourselves, but we don't really talk about hobbies unless it's just, like, the games that we play
Right.
or sports teams that we watch. So,
Yeah.
thought we'd give you a little bit more info. Maybe you can learn stuff about us. And then, of course, if you're on Instagram and you want to comment on whatever post and tell us a little bit about yourselves, that'd be awesome as well. Get to learn you guys more. So, we're just going to jump into that. Ryan, is there anything you want to throw out there that you like to do? Favorite color?
I'm gonna bring it down to the basics. My name is Ryan Stork. I live in Wisconsin, in a little town of West Bend.
My address is.
Here's my address. Lived here. I was born in West Bend. Did you know that? Did you know that? Like, not even Freighter, like the hospital. In West Bend, there used to be a hospital, and it's no longer there. I think it's an office building now. But yeah, born in West Bend, haven't moved. I work like at least 20 minutes away in a injection molding factory. Make some good old car parts.
I picked Ryan up once.
He did. We went to the great old Omicron. We got Omicron.
It's a restaurant. It's a little diner,
it's a
by
mom
the way.
and pop.
So
mom and pop restaurant. It was featured on Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Which is how whoever found the
Jimmy Kimmel,
restaurant was
right?
like Kimmel, or was it Fallon?
I think it's Kimmel.
One of the Jimmys, right? Like,
both of the Jimmys should have. Let's be honest.
Right.
But
what do I do when on my day-to-day basis? Wake up, go to work, 8 hours in the pocket. Cha-ching, and then I come home. Instantly, it's either go with my mom or dad to help out another family member, or I will go straight to my room and I will play games, watch YouTube. On the rare occasion, I will go watch a movie to our cinema locally. Games that I play. I recently have just acquired, I think, over 50 hours in The Binding of Isaac, which is a great game. Very difficult if you're into difficult games. But more recently, Dying Light 2, I've been playing with Zach, my best friend since first grade. I think my longest best friend that I've known. And it's weird to think that I know him longer than I've been alive. Is that it? No, I've known him more. Wait, 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 wait! I messed it up. Stop, stop laughing.
No, it's very sentimental, man.
I've known him more. Wait, do you know what I'm trying to say?
No, I actually don't.
I've known him longer than I haven't known him.
Okay,
Does that make
that
sense?
makes sense.
That's a statistic. All right, and then like we have this little joke that we do whenever we play the game Dying Light. Whenever somebody gets downed and needs a revive, we'll stand over each one of another, whoever's like down, and go, "Call me Papa for a revive." And then we just won't say it, and we'll just die, and then respawn and lose the stuff that we got.
Nice.
It's like, I would rather die than call you that name. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do in my spare time. Just play games, go to movies, stuff like that.
All right, well, I'm gonna throw my bits of facts out there, and this is actually perfect because in a week or so from when this is uploaded, I'm gonna be having to do an intro speech for my public speaking class. So I got this one in the mind tank.
All right,
Ready?
do it. Yeah,
So I would have some like presentation, like some slides, but essentially,
little clicker.
yeah, a little clicker. But my name's Keaton Walla. You know me as Skeeter on here. My favorite color is lavender, so I just
Ooh,
think that's
that's a
cool.
nice color.
My favorite color to wear is blue. Sheesh, on YouTube you can see I'm wearing blue right now.
Yeah, let's go.
My favorite sports team overall that I like to follow is the Bucks. My favorite players are Drew Holiday and Brooke Lopez. Cool thing about me and Brooke Lopez is we both
We both
had
know George Lopez.
we both know George Lopez. No.
Go ahead.
Um,
Sorry.
we both have had back surgery. Ooh, see that segue? That's pretty clean, to be honest.
Oh, that's pretty clean.
Yeah. And so I had a spinal fusion. That's neither here nor there. Um, Otherwise, for schooling, I'm going to a school local to me for 2 years.
I would say that's it's pretty important to know that you've. I don't think anybody knows that you've had back surgery.
Yeah, I don't think I made on the podcast. If you've, there's like I think two videos, like the
You got
football
like,
video, and I think probably like one other. I've actually said it.
however insignificant it might seem to you, it's probably like
Oh,
significant to someone else.
yeah, I know like how big the procedure is, but yeah, I just kind of downplay it just as
If
like a way of thinking about it because I just don't want to think about it. If that makes sense.
if you could imagine a pretzel, that's what Keaton's spine looked like.
Just take okay, so on YouTube it's really easy to kind of show it, but scoliosis is just like curve of the spine. So it's like two
He had
macaroni
scoliosis.
noodles,
Yes.
right? So I had like an S curve and then I had to get a spinal fusion. I think it was 2018, 2019. I could be so wrong. I don't remember. But I
Those have big needles.
what?
Those are big needles, huh? Spinal infusion? Don't you get injected?
No, so it was a spinal fusion.
What does that mean?
So essentially what they did was well, this is a funny story. I might as well talk about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I went in for the spinal fusion, the procedure. It was like January 13th, 17th, something like that. So it was actually anniversary not too long ago, but I just didn't even think about it. But they went to go do the procedure. I got knocked out. I had to do like all the prep work. You have to like wipe down your back for a couple days before it because that's when you have to make the incision and stuff.
Right.
And so I go in, fully think I'm gonna get knocked out, wake up, and then things
Oh
happen.
no.
But I get
Yeah, yeah.
knocked out, wake up the first time, and I see my feet are huge. They're bundled up because I've had in both my big toes ingrown toenails, and they couldn't do the procedure just because of that being a risk of leading to bleeding, infection, and then infecting the area that I just had, my back surgery on. So they had to
So
treat
they
that before I could do my back surgery.
so wait, since you had an issue with your feet, you had to get that done before you could do anything with your back?
Yeah, I had to get that done first.
That's
So
kind of weird.
I went in, woke up, and then my feet were all bandaged up. I had I don't even think it was 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks of resting to let my toes heal. Then straight after that, going back and then having my back surgery. So then I go under, again, doing all the prep work beforehand, go under, procedure. The procedure, my mom says it was around 8 hours. Wake up, and the thing that they tell you before is like as soon as you wake up, it is so like increasing, it is so beneficial to sit up instantly. So like if you wake up from, after all the, sleepy stuff wears off, if you can sit
How
up instantly, that is better because then it gets your blood flowing really fast.
how do you walk after that?
Well, I'll get to that. So I woke up and like I wouldn't even know how to explain how you feel just because that's so unworldly. But I woke up and I remember again them saying like, "Can are you able to sit up? Like, do you want to try and sit up?" And I knew going into this procedure like, and you could ask probably my doctors or my family,
Yeah,
especially my mom. So my mom was like with me that entire time. Like she took off work to
right.
be with me, and so like I went into it being like, okay, I'm gonna do literally everything to try and heal from this as fast as possible. So
Right.
they asked me like, "Are you able to sit up? Like, do you think you're gonna be able to sit up?" And I said, "Yeah." Like I felt so like weird and it hurt and whatever, but I'm like, I'm gonna sit up just so I can get this done with.
And I don't want to compare apples to oranges here, but like that's almost like I want to like almost compare the two. When I had my wisdom teeth removed, that's like asking like the doctor going, "You think you can open your mouth really wide right now?" Like
Yeah.
after we just stitched you closed,
Mm.
sort of like, "Can you sit up really quick while we just after we put the stitches in or staples or whatever?" That's gotta hurt.
So I guess I can dive into that a little bit. So I don't remember the exact range because it's broken up by like I don't know. They label each of your spots of your
Vertebrae.
spine, yeah, by like C whatever, whatever, something like that. And
Yeah.
so mine was it's like probably 3 4 inches down from the bottom of my neck all the way down to my lower back. So I'd say it's probably good, maybe like foot and a half, no, probably like a foot and a half of where the procedure was done. Of course, more has to be
Yeah.
cut open to actually see inside.
How big was the incision?
I have pictures of it, but it
Can
would
you
have
like
to be, oh,
you gotta stand up?
maybe like this long.
Wow.
It was,
Holy.
it, yeah. Um, so the actual procedure itself is, and um, you cut it open, of course. You gotta open it up, you know, how you do when you're a surgeon. And for me, it was, I have, oh, hold up, 1 second. Ryan, tell him a
For
joke.
those, yeah, for those of you who didn't or are not on YouTube right now, when he put his hands up to show like how big the incision was, it was at least the length of like a monster can, or maybe the size of a forearm, depending, I guess, your age. But
All right.
yeah, go.
So if you're on YouTube, you can see this. iTunes and Spotify, I'll describe it for you. So here's the picture.
Oh wow. Oh, what a whoa.
So as you can see, it's probably like 2 3 inches above from my hip. The equipment starts.
Yeah,
Then it goes up to like top of my traps
collarbone.
or my lats. I forget which. No, those are
Oh,
traps. So the top of my traps, yeah. So probably a collarbone. So it goes up that high. So again, probably like foot and a half. I'm not sure. But it's these nails or screws or whatever that go in, and they're these big titanium bars that fit on each side almost, and they just get mounted into my spine.
Do
So,
you ever just wake up and have like an accidental, not crisis, but like a out of body experience, and you're just thinking about like every simple thing, and then having it freak you out? Like you wake up, you go, I got metal
oh, dude,
inside my body right now.
I don't want like the podcast to turn into like because and this was what my first intro speech was gonna be on was like all my medical crap
Yeah.
because like I'm telling you now this isn't all I got going on like also with my spine and I don't even know if they ever fixed this while they did that surgery or not but with my spine I have like a pocket that goes along it that's filled with I think it's I think some of it's liquid and some of it's air. You're not
Okay.
supposed to have that.
No. No.
So, yeah, so I think about that stuff quite a bit. But so that was the
Yeah, that could be a whole
procedure.
different that could be a whole different topic.
Yeah.
Just talking about like what you have made yourself freak out about at the most random time,
Yeah,
which I'm gonna
definitely.
write it down.
But otherwise, so like, that's what they did. So then I woke up, like I instantly, sat up because they told me I should do that. When I look back on it, having the toe surgery before that, when I woke up from the back surgery, like I didn't even think about my toes at all. I'm assuming just because everything was so like pain relieved and I was so groggy and everything felt so weird, I didn't even think about my toes. But
No.
I sat up like that first day, pretty much laid down the rest of the day. I was in
Yeah.
the
Oh
hospital, I
man.
think for 7 days. I want to say 6, 7 days. I wanted to get out there. I wanted to get out of there. The soonest you could is 5 days. That's when I
Okay.
wanted to get out because I just wanted to get out of there ASAP. But then there was like a bunch of blizzards and stuff that entire week, so I couldn't get out until the 7th day.
Were you bedridden the whole time, or did they let you walk around?
No, I so again, what they tell you is you have this button. The button sends pain relief medication, and if you can, walk around a lot because then you get your blood flowing, everything's trying to get back to normal, stuff's waking up because you're knocked out for 8 hours. So it's not just you go to sleep and your back's knocked out, everything's knocked out. So like,
Yeah.
all your organs to digest food and stuff like that,
They're
all
like sleeping.
asleep. So when I wake up, like
It's
over
like
the
a
span of
kickstart.
7 days, I can't go to the bathroom because
Yeah.
everything's asleep. And so that's like a whole different struggle when I got home. But at the actual hospital, you want to walk as much as you can. So the second day, I just started doing laps. Like the floor that we were on was a big square. So I just do laps around that place. And not to like I don't want to say this in a way of like, oh yeah, I, I walked. But
Yeah.
like and I don't want to like downplay other people that get procedures and then don't walk on the second day. But like I would assume anybody out here with a level-headed mind would realize like, oh, back surgery, that's huge, and be able to walk on the second day, that's huge, and like I just walked a ton. Like I'd wake up at midnight just because sleeping was horrendous. I'd have to get flipped on either side. I'd have to rotate. I think it was every hour and a half to 2 hours, and
That's
so
yeah.
I could barely sleep. So I'd just walk. I'd walk and then go back to sleep. They'd have to wake me up. I'd go walk. And that's all it was. And so, I started doing that. Um, I did some PT while I was there as well. That was only on like some of the last couple days. The My biggest advice is of course walking or doing the PT while you're there as soon as
Yeah.
possible. Even if you can't do it for like long extended amount of time, just like do it sooner than later because again like sitting up that probably helped me so much just having my body have that one you know thing of blood rush but then also if you can not take pain medication, don't take it. The entire time I was there. And I will brag about this in terms of, like, I'm proud of myself for doing this. I
Yeah.
did not click that button to get pain meds. I
Jesus Christ.
I didn't want, because when you do that, that takes your body longer to get normal, if that makes sense. Like, of course, if you
Yeah.
are in like severe pain, like if you just got stabbed or something, yeah, you need it. And of course, I was under that stuff while I was in the procedure. But once I got out of it, like, yeah, I was in pain, but if you can bear with it, your body's gonna get normal faster. So again, like taking pain meds and stuff is gonna get, like the organs again to digest are gonna be asleep longer if you keep taking them. You're not gonna be able to progress quick enough or
Right.
more than you would if you weren't taking them. So I didn't take any. And again, I kept walking. So that would be like my biggest advice is those two things. Um, Otherwise, then I got home. Again, they gave me pain meds to take home. Didn't take any of those. Um,
What would you say your biggest like physical advancement was? Like your first ever physical advancement from walking, maybe touching your toes, like bending
um,
over to grab something, running.
well, when I was in the hospital, walking to doing PT and walking up and down the steps, that
Okay.
was like, that was tough. Because then you're really using a lot of muscles together, and so that was a bit tough at first. Um, and that's funny thing is then it was like one of the last couple days, like I forget the name, the person who anesthesiologist I want to say is the
Okay.
person who
Yeah,
does like
right. Sounds right.
person that
The
knocks you
knockdown
out.
drug.
Yeah, like he and like the main doctor and some other doctor do like the rounds on people. So it was like my last couple days, and they're like, "Yeah, you haven't like taken pain medication. I heard you were doing steps and you were walking around. You should try and eat some food. Blah blah blah." And they're like, you were pretty much smashing it right now. Like you're hitting this out of
Yeah.
the park." So I knew like sick. I'm getting out of here. So otherwise, well, the actual like the big milestone, and this was
Hmm.
uh so a year anniversary essentially. I then went to Disney and I did a 10K.
Yeah. To
So
anybody, just think about not being able to run for a year.
yeah,
That's basically what he went through. Knowing like if I run right now, it's going to hurt.
well, yeah. So I got home and I thought going into the procedure like I was gonna be at home for probably like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I was at home for 3 months. So
Yeah.
I was out of school for 3 months and
What grade
half
was that?
um junior year because halfway through that I had to go and do the ACTs.
I
So
don't remember you being out for 3 months.
I I could barely sit up for extended periods of time. And the ACT takes forever. And I had to go and do my ACTs and then come home. And they made me
I
do it at that
remember
time.
I remember you going in for ACTs, but for some reason I'm blanking on you actually not being there. Cuz
I don't
that's
think we didn't have any classes that year.
yeah.
No, we had a lot of senior year classes.
Okay. All right.
But
Mm.
yeah, so that was pretty bogus. I had to do ACTs like that. Um, but yeah, so I was out for like 3 months, and when I was home, it would just be like laying on the couch, walking around. Went to
Mhm.
PT close by, and we did some exercises. Um, I couldn't work out or anything. Um, and then yeah, it was pretty much up until like 3 months before the 10K. I was like cleared for like physical activity, so then I was able to move around a bit more.
Yeah.
Then I did that 10K. So I think that's like probably like the big milestone, like the 1 year, like, oh my gosh, you went from
Right.
being like that to now you did a
crippled to
10K. Yeah.
yeah.
So I guess that's the story.
Well, it seems like your life is more uh, entertaining than mine was, and
Well,
interesting.
I mean, I want to know if I'd take it like that. Like
I take being normal for granted so much. Like the idea of having some sort of physical disability to not be able to do things, I take it for granted. Uh,
it was so funny. Because the other day I was in the basement and I had to get up into a small little spot. And I'm gonna actually throw this out. So some other of my hobbies is uh like engineering, and I like to be do stuff with some tools, some woodwork and stuff like that. And I wanted to get Ethernet in my room. Okay. So me and my dad, we kind of laid out the land of the house, and we're gonna drill into this wall right next to me. And I'm on the second floor, so you have to go from second to first to basement to then route it along the basement ceiling to then go up to where the router is.
mhm.
So we were, looking at it all, and there's a little cavity in the basement that looks like it leads all the way up because there's a staircase right next to it. So it's parallel to the staircase where it leads all the way up to my wall in my room. So we thought we could just go through one floor joist and then all the way down. And so I went into that little cavity, right? So I have to like step up into it just so I could like kind of peek to see if I can see the board that connects to my room.
Yeah.
And so it's funny because I was in there, so I had to like I face into it, and then I had to turn around 180, and then I'm looking, and then I try and get out of that cavity, and there's a board like right where my forehead is, and then just like I'm sitting on a board, and I have to get out, and I could not bend enough to like get out from there. And so it was
So
just funny because my sister was sitting there and she just did the exact same thing and could get out. Granted,
yeah.
she's shorter as well, but she's just watching me like eye bulging, like I can't get out. And I'm like trying to, like put my head
Can
forward
you
enough. But
so
that's
can
funny.
you like not bend forward like a same way
Oh yeah,
because of
no,
the metal?
I can't bend. Like I can still like
Can you arch your back?
yeah. Well, it's my top like the top of my back, isn't no machinery, and the lower of my back's no machinery. So like I can still like move and like I can, like body wave or whatever, but like actually like bending forward, I can bend like not that much forward.
Huh.
I can touch my toes, but that's just because my arms are so freaking long. So
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Just again taking things for granted with the dying light thing. Everybody's like, "Oh, we ran out of water." It's like, well, I'm not taking water for granted ever again.
hey,
Like,
water's
uh,
scarce, man. Um, otherwise, I do media stuff like the Glimpse YouTube channel. Go check it out.
yeah, check
Glimpse.
that
Yo,
out. Glimpse
catch Glimpse
on YouTube.
podcast. Um,
Linktree.
otherwise, yeah, I'm going to transfer to a school for 2 years for my bachelor's for media
Yep.
studies. Want to be a cinematographer, or at least just start off somewhere in the cinema world. Um, otherwise, yeah,
That's
yeah,
Keaton's
that's
life
me.
in a nutshell.
Hey, that's me.
You could probably go into more depth about it,
Yeah,
but like that's the gist, right?
definitely.
Um, I don't know if you want to head over to topic 2 here, but
Sure.
I had a wicked dream last night. It was very funny. Um, so as you know, the day that we're recording this is Saturday, and the Super Bowl is tomorrow. Bengals versus Rams. Um,
Shoo.
before I even go into my dream, Keaton posted a photo in our group chat of a Simpsons screenshot Everybody has the stigma like, oh, Simpsons are time travelers. They know what's going to happen in the future, past, present, whatever. So people seeing this photo is like, oh, I'm going to go bet on this team. Well, it says, well, looks like the Bengals are winning the Super Bowl this year. The Simpsons called it. And it says Cincinnati Bengals 34, LA Rams 31. But here's the thing. It's a photoshopped image. So everybody who has bet millions and millions of dollars on it just got super upset. Like it is proven that it is a photoshopped image.
it's
So
it's still crazy though that people like look at that and they're like, okay, now I'm betting, and then somebody like figures out that that's a fake photo and they're like, hey, give me my money back. But it's like, but you
yeah,
still consciously like thought, all right, this is money that if it's not correct, I could lose. You know, so like
yeah.
you still put that money out there.
But with the dream, okay. So if you could imagine like a huge theater, okay, almost like the size of an opera theater, right? You got like levels to it. You got like a big stage, but imagine the stage being a huge like screen, like a movie theater.
Mm.
Um, and then imagine the Super Bowl being played on it. Okay, the seats are all stacked up. I'm in the back right of the theater if you're facing the screen, and my mom is in the front middle, right, all the way front middle. The game comes to an end and somebody wins. And this is I woke up laughing, okay? I woke up laughing because I'm making my way to the front to like leave.
Mm.
She gets up out of her chair in the dream and goes, "Woo, Buccaneers!" like, what the she's like, "Whoa, Buccaneers win!" And like the whole theater is silent, and she's the only one. "Whoa, Buccaneers win!" And then I woke up laughing, and in my mind that morning, I was like, "Well, her, 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 the team that she wants to win is the Bengals. I'm assuming because the only one that starts with a B.
Mm.
So that's who's winning the Super Bowl, I guess, tomorrow.
Dang. Well, there you
Bengals.
go. Everybody go make your bets.
But I want the Rams to win personally. Not you.
I I really don't mind either way.
I
Um,
don't either, but I just want Rams to keep. I've said it before. Frankie made a
yeah.
statement saying Odell Beckham Jr. gave away the opportunity for a Super Bowl for not signing with the Green Bay Packers, but here he is. He's in the Rams and he's in the Super Bowl.
The Rams to me have always been like one of my top favorite teams just because
Yeah,
I like Rams as like an animal. But
I like their colors and their logo.
yeah, and then their uniforms or jerseys and stuff like that like all went like freaking amazing. So then it even made me like them more. So yeah. I don't really mind though either way it goes because Bengals is such like a team that doesn't see that spotlight. So if they would win it, that'd be really cool. So
Yeah,
either way, to me, it's gonna be a good
it's a
game.
win-win.
Yeah.
Not for
Um.
them, but it's a win-win.
Yeah. But just to go into also Aaron Rodgers, he just
mm.
got his fourth MVP, so that's pretty
Let's
crazy.
go.
I do want to say that Matt LaFleur, he kind of got gypped on Coach of the Year, but that's all
Yeah,
right, I guess. The Titans coach,
he did well.
yeah, I guess. They are in the Super Bowl, right? No? Oh. And
Never heard of him, but
okay, yeah. So that happened as well. So yep,
Matt LaFleur literally, what is it? This is his win percentage is like what, 80 or something? 70%?
it's I don't know, it's he's his stats like everywhere are insane. And he's
Is it
breaking records, but
is it third
yeah.
consecutive year to have 14 wins?
Yeah, something crazy like
Yeah.
that. So
But we'll give it to the
but
Titans coach. It's
yeah, we'll give it to him cuz he needs it, I guess.
he needs it.
Um but I think that's probably it for NFL speak. So I
Yeah.
just want to quickly dive into we have a big Bucks trade, and it's Bucks and some
Mm.
other teams. But big Bucks trade,
Big
I'm
monies. Yep.
yeah, big monies. So we're trading Dante, um, which I guess I'll go into in a little bit. But we're trading Dante, and we're getting I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I could totally be butchering this. I want to say it's Sergey Ibaka, but
It looks right.
it could be Serg Ibaka, so I'm not sure.
Sergey sounds more dope.
That
I like
sounds pretty
Sergey.
sick. So if it's Serg, you should change it to Sergey. So just saying. But so Sergey Ibaka, um, so he's coming to the Bucks. We're getting rid of Dante. We're also getting some, I think it was fourth round picks. Then you have Ben Simmons going to the Nets, and you have James Harden going to the 76ers, and I think there's one other person moving to the Kings, I think it was, Sacramento Kings. Not sure, because I don't really care except about what Bucks are giving and taking. Um, so we're getting rid of Dante, which sucks because Dante, although he has been injured a lot of the season, he is really good, especially when he's healthy and he's on a roll. But it does make sense that we are getting rid of Dante because we got Grayson Allen, and Sergey is a big dude, defensive player. So that's a nice role to fill in because we got rid of DeMarcus Cousins. And we
Mm-hmm.
don't have Brooke Lopez because right now he's out for back surgery. The only thing that doesn't make sense to me is why did we get rid of Boogie and then get Sergey and trade out Dante if we could have just kept Dante, kept Boogie, made no trade? You know? Like that.
Maybe funds, money.
I mean, I think we're gonna be paying probably around the same. It's a weird thing. It's a weird choice to me, especially because then when we get back Brooke Lopez, then we're just gonna be out a person like Dante,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're just gonna have two big guys. So I'd like to see kind of how it goes. I still think it's a net plus win on that trade, just because Sergey's such a good player, and Dante again has been out for most of the season, and we've been playing really well. And again, we have Grayson Allen, so I think the trade's still net positive on that one.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think it's funny that James Harden is going from the Nets, and James Harden, if you didn't know, is just like a he's had beef with Giannis before, and he's going from the Nets, who is supposed to be such a big team, except we beat the Nets every time we face them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's going from a big team like the Nets. Like the Nets are still in good standings and everything, but he's going from the Nets to the 76ers, who aren't just as good as of a team, of course. And then you
Right.
have Ben Simmons, who I don't understand why people think Ben Simmons is good slash he should be on a team. It doesn't make sense to me. He hasn't played. I don't think he's really good even before that.
It's almost like if you know someone in the industry, they can always find you a way into the main picture. Know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah, the 76ers was supposed to be like his team. He didn't do anything. Now, for some reason, the Nets think that because they're going to get Ben Simmons, like he's going to start playing, I guess, good or
Our Lord and Savior's here.
like I don't understand. Granted, like James Harden, I don't think he's that good either, but like James Harden has been good, and so it makes more sense to have James than having Ben when Ben literally hasn't played. So I don't really understand that trade. Um, I don't know. Not sure, but I guess we'll just kind of have to see how it goes.
Yo, Keaton, you're on my sweatshirt.
Huh?
Look, you're in the background, man. Look at that's you
I'm the
right
sun?
there.
Oh, that's
The
me.
sun? That's you, man. Sorry. I just saw it and I was like, yo, he's on my sweatshirt. Let's go.
Yeah,
What are you doing in this photo, huh? You walking
walking in
away from
the
the sun.
sun.
You're gonna become one with the sun.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a little random.
Um, yeah. Otherwise, I think that's probably it for Bucks talk. So I think, I think we could end it off with a little bit of the first point, the some of the other video games.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Ryan mentioned earlier talking about Dying Light. I don't know if you want to go more into that at all.
Um, the way that me and Zach are playing it, Zach and I, sorry, are playing it. The game collectively takes 150 plus hours of playtime. Playtime on Steam means you are in the game playing it. Like when you're active in the game, the counter starts, right? We set out to do every side quest in the game, which means that's over a month of real time playing it. Um, and just to put into like perspective of where we're at compared to other people, there's a health bar that you have, right? And as you upgrade your health, it becomes multiple health bars, all right? Same thing with your stamina. You upgrade your stamina, it becomes multiple stamina bars. As of now, I personally have 3 stamina bars and 2.5 health bars, okay? I watch these streamers on Twitch to get the drops, to get items and stuff. And I'm seeing these people who probably didn't do side quests as much as we're doing,
Mm.
and they're getting into the same area that we're at with half of what we have. So
So you
we are
guys are jacked.
we're highly overpowered at this moment. Like there'll be a sequence where it's just like, oh, I'm went to this area and here's the leader of this group and he just said screw you and now he's going to attack you, and it's like a backup moment where it puts you back in your character's head.
Mm.
You have the boss bar at the top, and as soon as it lets us move, we just start swinging on the guy and he's dead in half a second. Like that's pretty much how every fight has been because we're so overpowered at this point.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, Dying Light, I would like to play it every day, but you know, with schedules and stuff, can't really work out like that. So go ahead with your
Well,
game that you're excited for.
yeah, so that brings up a kind of familiar point on Borderlands games. I
Mm.
remember playing through Borderlands 3 kind of like that. I did every side mission the first playthrough, and then I'd get to like to the story mission. Yeah, and it would just be like, "Oh my
Unlocks
gosh."
more side missions.
What was that?
It would doing one story mission would unlock like 3 or 4 more side missions.
Oh yeah, that, but then like getting to whatever, mini boss or boss, and it's like, "Oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh, it's, like General Trant." And it's just like dead. Like as soon as cutscene's over,
Well,
dead.
okay. General Trant is not even a boss at that point.
Well,
Like
yeah, okay.
it doesn't matter what level you're at, he is dying instantly.
Okay, well then I'll say like Grave Ward or something. But it was,
Okay.
like you over level in games, and that's just how it is. Um, but a new game coming out soon is Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and I want to play that game so bad. Just in general, like I've been playing as many video games just because of school and stuff, but that comes out like right at spring break, so I plan to just play the crap out of that game. And Borderlands 3 launch was, AAA title, had really long story mode, and then had 4 DLCs, and then you had all the extra content that they just added on to it, like the Proving Grounds, which is just like a map that you go through and you kill boss at the end, and the takedowns and stuff like that, which are again like big maps that you go through and kill the boss at the end. And then they had some like this DLC season pass or whatever it was called. So it was like the director's cut, and that added more bosses. And then you had the arms race,
Yeah.
which is like a battle royale but NPCs and stuff like that. So it was loaded of content, all the stuff like really good. That game got frequent updates, really well balanced in terms of that. A lot of love put in that game, so it was like an amazing experience. The end game is way more balanced than Borderlands 2 is, so it was nice to see that happen. And so I've played it all, I've beat it all, and granted I can, every once in a while I have the urge to like, okay, I want to go play it and beat it again. And so now,
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I have this one memory of Borderlands 3. that will always stick with me, and I'm pretty sure I still have it clipped to this day. When you first, and I mean, if you haven't played the game, I'm gonna say spoilers right now. If you haven't killed Troy, like right after you kill him,
Mm.
it says to be
Oh
continued in
yeah.
4. I'm like, huh? And then it starts counting down. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
All right, there's more.
When that happened, I racked through all of the possibilities in my head. I'm like, okay, Borderlands 4, that's good because it confirms the next game. But then I'm like, but then what happens after this cutscene? Because then how do we transition from here where we are now to like going to like DLCs and stuff? So I'm like, this kind of doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
I'm kind of thinking this is fishy. And then it ticks down to 3. I'm like, okay, here we
yeah.
go.
Okay, yeah.
This
It's
makes
a
a little
very
bit more sense.
it got me scared when I
Yeah.
first saw it. So.
But another Borderlands game is coming out. It's not Borderlands 4. It's going to be Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. And so it's not a direct, like story sequel. It's going to be a game made around a DLC from Borderlands 2. It's a fan
Yeah,
favorite, Dungeons and Dragons style. And how they're going about this game is, I think, like amazing for the franchise, if that makes sense. Because you
it's like an
have
MMO, right?
it's kind of like that because you have Borderlands 1, which is the same style as Borderlands 2, same style as Borderlands pre-sequel, and 3 in terms of like, you have the skill trees, you start here, you go through the story missions until you'll end there. It's all the same mechanics essentially. And Borderlands 3, that engine is going to be used for Wonderland. So it's like some of the guns may look similar for like parts and manufacturers and stuff, but the game itself is going to be like way different. Instead of having 3 skill trees per 4 Vault Hunters, you're going to have 6 classes with a primary ability, a secondary ability, and then you're going to be able to pick and choose not just solely on your class. You'll be able to swap primaries and secondaries. You'll be able to do all different skill trees. You're going to be able to like customize extensively with this. It's going to be
Yeah.
like actually crazy. There's no more shields. They're replaced by, I think they're called totems. There's spells. Like spells are brand new. There's dedicated melee weapons. Like the how crazy it's gonna be is insane. And I've tried to explain this to smaller people before, but it's like, yes, Grant, like Borderlands is already like a fictional setting. They could do whatever they want, but they want to keep it somewhat grounded in reality. Of like, you can't have whatever magic happen because in Borderlands that's not a thing.
You're
But
right.
the fascinating thing about being inside this DLC, inside of the game, is that you can do whatever you want. Because now it's like a board game imagination setting to where you can
Right.
have these spells and mimics and turning, this insane giant like chest into, whatever. You can do so much crazy stuff. And then like how they're going about like even just like loot and side missions, you actually explore the map like from a top down view and to like find little secrets and nooks and crannies to go about the story missions or side missions. Like it's all gonna be just different. And
I
so
guess, and to simplify it and dumb it down, it's almost like if anybody knows what Dungeons and Dragons is, you essentially have like a dungeon master giving you the story, and then you have your characters or your other players making their own characters, upgrading them through the storyline and stuff. It's basically you're playing as that character that somebody else has created.
yeah.
You are like going through the game as that character being upgraded and stuff. And I'm assuming there's probably going to be like cutscenes and like voice lines of Tina explaining
Yeah,
what's about to
probably.
happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's really
Yeah,
cool.
and like again, they're changing with like the game board, like that's how you traverse through it instead of like having like take a vehicle and like drive to a fast travel spot or whatever. It's going to be like you're almost moving like your board game piece and stuff.
Yeah,
And so that game I think is just going to be crazy. And again, it's going to be a full AAA title, full story mode. It's going to have 4 DLCs, probably a bunch of extra content chucked on top of that. So that thing's going to be like a whole ride in itself, and it's just going to be different. So
yeah,
I think that's going to be crazy.
for
So
sure.
I'm happy for that. But anyways,
Let's go.
Unless you got anything else, I think.
No.
I think it's time to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. I know it's been about 50 minutes.
Yeah, we went a little over. That's all
Yeah,
right.
you know the crazy thing though, Ryan?
Yeah, what?
They can check us out next week.
Next week we
Next
will have
week
more
we
time.
will be back. So next week, Sunday, 7 a.m. iTunes, Spotify, or 4:30 p.m. YouTube with the videos on the Glimpse YouTube channel. Go check those out. We also have 4:30 p.m. Wednesday content also on the Glimpse YouTube channel. Check that out. All this stuff is in our link tree. With that, we also have the Instagram and TikTok for some quick and easy content. Go check those out as well. You can check out the past episodes if you have missed any of those. Otherwise, if you guys want to rate the podcast, that'd be greatly appreciated. Hit us
5
up.
stars.
Yeah,
We're
5 stars. Hit us up with some likes and subscriptions on the YouTube. All that stuff is greatly appreciated. Thank you guys so much for watching. I think that's it. Check you guys out next time. And goodbye.